I want you to think about the people who have changed your life, not the people who taught you the most information, but those people who changed you. It could have been a teacher who saw something in you that you never saw before in yourself. Or maybe it's that coach who held the line when you wanted to quit, or that boss who just pulled you aside and said something that you still carry with you to this day. The parent, the mentor, the friend, you, like everyone else, has a list. Now, here's the question, and I want you to sit with this today. Whose list are you on? When the people you lead, think about your team, your family, your colleagues, when they make that list 5 years or 10 years from now, will your name be on it? And if so, what will they remember? Today, I'm going to show you the one thing that determines whether you make someone's list 5, 10, 15 years in the future. And it's not what you think. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. If you're a leader who's tired of repeating yourself, tired of agreement and bobbleheads without execution, and just burned out carrying the emotional weight of everyone else's performance, you're in the right place. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This isn't motivation. This isn't theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena, at work, and at home. You're in the war room now, so let's get after it. Here's what people really remember about the leaders who've changed their lives. They don't remember the strategy meeting, and they don't remember the comp plan that we put together, and they definitely don't remember the meeting agenda. They remember how you made them feel. That's it. The words you used in a moment that actually mattered to them, that tone in your voice when you told them that you believed in them and had confidence they didn't have, the calm you brought into a room that was full of chaos. Or they remember the frustration you carried in that you thought you were hiding, but everyone felt. Here's the concept I want to give you today, and it comes from Dean Graziosi, one of my favorite mentors. Is the emotional state I'm in right now aligned with the result I want to achieve? That one question changes everything. Because here's the science. Emotions are contagious. You know this, but not in hours and not in minutes. In less than a second, when you walk into the service drive carrying that kind of stress and frustration, your team feels it in less than a second before you say a word. When you sit down for a coaching conversation and you're distracted and rushed and just trying to be efficient, your advisor doesn't hear your words. They feel your impatience and that they don't have time for you. And whatever you were trying to accomplish in that conversation, it's gone and you didn't get it. Not because you said the wrong thing, but because your emotional state said it for you. And that was not the message you were trying to give. Let me make this really specific if I could. You need to have a difficult conversation with a manager this week. Maybe it's about performance or some other numbers. Maybe it's about an attitude that you've seen. And it might just be about a pattern that you've been watching over the last month or two. Whatever it is, before you walk in, check your state. Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you rehearsing all the things they've done wrong? If so, I promise you, your emotional state is aligned with conflict and not resolution, not growth. Conflict, and that's exactly what you're going to get because that's where your alignment is. But what if you paused and took 2 minutes and asked, what result do I actually want from this conversation? Not to vent, not to be right. What do you actually want? Maybe, and think about it, maybe you want them to feel supported and challenged at the same time. Maybe you want them to walk into that room like more motivated and committed, not more defeated. Now, align your emotional state with that result. Cultivate empathy, cultivate calm, cultivate genuine care for the person that's about to sit across from you. So you're having the same conversation, but an entirely different state and a completely different outcome. And the person on the other side of that desk, they won't remember what you said, but they will absolutely remember how they felt when they left the room. That is what makes somebody's list. That's the kind of leader they remember. So here's what I want you to do before every coaching session, every meeting, every important conversation this week. Just check in. What am I feeling right now? Is this emotion aligned with the outcome that I want, with what I need to have happen? If it is, go. If it's not, I reset. Sometimes reset is a breath. Sometimes it's a walk around the building. And sometimes it's reconnecting with my why I became a coach, why I do this work, why this person sitting across from me really mattered. That connection shifts my state in seconds, and it changes the entire trajectory of the conversation. Here's today's execution move. I call this the list question. Everything we've been talking about. I invite you to do two things today. First, make your list. Write down the names of people who've changed your life. 3 to 5 names. And next to each one, write one word for how they made you feel. Seen, believed in, challenged, safe, inspired, confident, hopeful. Now look at those words. That's the blueprint. That's what it takes to make someone's list. Second, before your next important conversation today, ask the Graziosi question. Is the emotional state I'm in right now aligned with the results I want to achieve? If yes, go. If no, reset before you walk in. Here's the truth, and all elite leaders live by this. Your people won't remember your strengths. They'll remember your presence. And presence is an emotional state that you chose before you ever walked in the room. It is not something that happens to you. It's what you choose. This concept, emotional alignment as a leadership discipline, is one of the most practical chapters in my book, Unstoppable You, 16 and a half Tools for Everyday Resilience. Because the book isn't just about making you more resilient. At its core, it's about making you the kind of leader that people never forget. And if this is resonating with you, I invite you to go to chrishunsicker.com and download a free chapter of Unstoppable You. And if you know a leader who's talented, gifted, but whose team, they just don't feel it, someone who's good at the work, but disconnected from their people and they're spinning their wheels, send them this episode. It might change how they show up tomorrow, and it might change their results this month. Because at the end of the day, elite leaders don't just produce results. They produce moments that carry people for the rest of their lives. A conversation, a tone, a presence, a feeling. Finally, someone believed in them when they didn't even believe in themselves. And I will share with you, that is how you make the list. And that's the kind of leader that you're becoming today and tomorrow. We're going to close out this week with a story about a flower that blooms in the snow. You don't want to miss it. And what does that teach us about leading when everything around you says, it's not your season, it's not your time, you should just quit? Have something beautiful ready. Let's go create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.